Welcome back to the Independent Republican, Mike Graham, right here on TalkTV. We're here until 1 o'clock, of course. Ian Collins will be coming up. Shortly, we're going to be going live to a police press conference in Bournemouth, where there was an incident yesterday which involved the deaths of 2 young people and an arrest of a man who's currently being charged with manslaughter. It's something that happened in the sea, off the pier, in the coast of that Dorset town, Bournemouth. We'll bring you that as soon as we can. First, though, let's do something on the world of woke, because it's 12:30. This is what we do here on the Independent Republican, Mike Graham. What we do is we point out something which has become the world of woke. And here it is. The world of woke has caused more people in this country to stop working. In fact, it's caused more people in this world, in this country, to not work at all. You might remember we had a statistic a while back that people in Scotland aged between 16 and 24, a rapid number of those, a big number of those people, something like, I think as many as 50%, had never worked at all in any job. We've now got new figures out in which it says that nearly 1 in 7 working-age households have no workers in them at all. And that accounts for 2.5 million people. That means homes with at least one person aged 16 to 64 have nobody in work, right? 30,000 is the rise in the numbers since last year. 13% up, nearly 6 in 10 homes are all workers, while the rest are a mix of unemployed and employed. But this is the problem we face in this country, because the world of woke has caused this. And the reason I will tell you that is why is this. Because reasons for people not going to work include a work-life balance. People don't want to work too hard because it's not good for them. They'd rather be a much more leisurely sort of life. They'd rather be able to go down the pub. They'd rather be able to go on a cycling ride, or maybe down to the shops. They didn't have to actually go to work. I mean, also, if you want to go to work, that's all very well, but surely you don't have to actually travel to go to work. You can just work from your living room, can't you? Just work from home, yeah, because the world of woke allows that. You don't have to go to an office. You don't have to go and work in a shop. No. Just ask the government to give you some benefit money and you don't have to go anywhere. In fact, you'll be better off if you don't work. According to these particular figures, there are 5 million people on out-of-work benefits, and some of those people can work. Not all, but some. And say if even a fifth of them could work, that would be 1 million. They could contribute to the economy and they could actually start doing something useful. But now 1 in 7 working-age households has nobody working in that house. And I think that is a disgrace. I don't care about your work-life balance. I don't care about what you think you want to do. I don't care about the fact that you want to work from home, or you want some blended working. 1 day a week you go in and 4 days a week you stay at home and do nothing. No, the world of woke is killing the economy. And you need to get back to work. You need to do it now. That's the world of woke today. Let's talk to Nigel, who's in Portsmouth. Hi, Nigel.
Hello, Mike.
Hey, hello.
All good. I'm actually calling to talk about train drivers, but first, the work thing.
Yeah.
What do people do all day? I mean, I'm really lucky. I'm somewhere, I mostly fit bathrooms. I'm kind of somewhere between a handyman and a builder. Okay. And I love my job. I absolutely love my job. Get out there, you meet some really interesting people. Yes. Getting out and about, honestly. And at the end of the day, I always look over my shoulder. Last thing. That's what I've done today. I've actually done something. And you've made
something, right? You've worked with your hands. You've created something. You've given somebody a new bathroom or whatever you've done. And it's a great achievement. Exactly. And you can go home, pat yourself on the head, pour yourself a glass of something and say, that was a good day. Exactly.
But anyway, train driving. Yeah. AI has been in the news a lot recently. Yes. And there's a lot of talk about self-driving cars. There has been over the last couple of years.
Right.
But in a train, there's it's basically start-stop. I'm not deriding what they do, but it's basically there are 2 things they do. You're either speeding up or you're slowing down. That's it. There's no steering to do. Right. And AI, I mean, that's made for AI. If AI can drive a car where there are 1,000 things at any moment that can just come in front of you, cars swerve in front of you, that doesn't happen in the train. In 15, 20 years, there'll be no train drivers at all. And the chap earlier said that there are no driverless trains. Right. Just look up driverless trains, Mike. They're in development everywhere, particularly Germany, Japan, Switzerland. I looked at when the chap was talking. I looked it up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're already in Dubai. They're already in Singapore. We've got the DLR, despite the pedantry of the guy that texted me to say, oh, they've got a captain of the train on there, but he doesn't actually drive the train. He doesn't need to drive the train because it works on its own.
Exactly. I mean, effectively, what you're talking about is at the moment there's a train and a conductor.
Yeah.
You will just have.
And the only reason he's on there is because the union have negotiated it so that he has to sit there and do absolutely nothing.
You only need one, Mike. You only need one. You don't need both. And that halves your labour cost of running a train.
Right. Exactly right. And also, I'm pretty sure there are other... I mean, I can't swear to this, but I think the Washington metro system works without drivers as well. You know, and we've all been on these trains. You know, they work perfectly well. Why wouldn't you have a driverless train?
The underground there's an underground in Sofia, and Bulgaria has no drivers.
Right.
There are a couple of tubes in Germany that have no drivers.
Yeah.
Really, Mike, you're exactly right. AI is made. It doesn't take its eyes off the rails ever. It doesn't look at its phone or read a newspaper instead of driving. It doesn't go on strike.
It doesn't turn up late so the train can't go anywhere.
Exactly right. It's never late. It's never ill.
Right.
It just gets on with it.
Right.
There are loads of jobs it can't do. But that's one job. I think AI is made for things like that, Mike.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Nigel, what a great call. Well played. Paul's in Devon. Hi, Paul.
Yes, good afternoon, Mike. Train drivers and driverless trains.
Yes.
Well, the technology for this has been in place for a long time. If you look at our rail network, it's not run by the old-fashioned signal box anymore, where the signalman used to pull the lever. You now have one box which controls hundreds of square miles of track.
Right.
Now, the thing is that, as your previous caller said, the train driver is a start-stop.
Right.
That's it. The thing is, the signal box can control those trains anywhere, and they don't have to have anybody looking out because the signal box will monitor that on its panel.
Right.
So the fact is that we have a driver and a guard on the train because of the fear factor, because people want to know that there's somebody up the front.
Right. And some people say, you know, it's good to have a representative of the train company in case there's a problem, in case, you know, somebody feels vulnerable, in case somebody needs help and all that. I get all of that, but there's no reason why every train has to have a driver and every train has to have a conductor.
Exactly so, and I think you'll find in the coming years, and I don't think it's going to be that long, that a lot of the branch lines will go driverless.
Yes.
Because all they are doing is stopping and starting, because you get on the 8 o'clock to go, I don't know, to station B, it takes 10 minutes. The train will take 10 minutes. The driver is not pushing it. He knows he has to depart at 8 o'clock and arrive at 8:10.
Right. And what about signalling? Because
intelligence can do that.
What about signalling, Paul? Because when, you know, in the old days, like you say, when there was the old signal box and you had sort of individual, you know, levers actually being pulled, we still see on the train network occasionally, you know, there's a problem in this area because of a signal failure. Is that still the same thing then, or is that something different?
If you get a signal failure, it's usually down to a power outage.
Right.
Because obviously the track circuit block which the signalman or this panel box operates is run by electricity. So if there is a power outage, what happens is the signalling goes down. Right. Therefore, they won't run trains, because each signal, you've got a control signal, a semi-automatic or an automatic signal. So when if a train passes by a red signal, there's an automatic, it's like called a spider, that sits in the track that will automatically trigger the braking system on that train.
Right, okay.
Regardless of whether the driver wants it or not, it does it automatically. If there's a signalling outage, it's usually down to power, and therefore they won't run any trains until they've got that up and running and the panel is back in control of the network.
Okay. I mean, there's no argument for me against driverless trains. Paul, great call. Thank you very much indeed. Maria, stay where you are. We'll come back to you. We've just got to take a little break. We're waiting as well for a press conference at the Bournemouth International Centre. Dorset Police have called it after a serious incident yesterday on Bournemouth Beach, where a 12-year-old girl and a 17-year-old boy died after an incident that they will explain coming up next, right here on TalkTV.